with Archidiakono. 3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship.
Hey everybody, Mr. Rachel here. We're talking about the parent quadratic function, and what that looks like is this: y equals x squared, or f of x equals x squared. So to tell if your function is quadratic, you want to look for that 2 that is on top of the x. And knowing that it's a function, remember that. And now let's talk about, well, what does the graph of a quadratic function look like? Well, it looks like that U shape that you can see. You can see that little green U shape. We call that a parabola. And of course, we have that equation, y equals x squared. So remember that little 2 on top of the x, if that's the leading power, meaning that's the biggest power, that tells you that your function is quadratic. And now I want to talk to you a little bit about the domain and range of a quadratic function. So you'll notice that the green part of the graph doesn't go under the x-axis. So the domain of a quadratic is all real numbers, but the range is restricted. The range has to be greater than or equal to 0. On the parent parabola, the range is above the x-axis, although it might drop down and touch the x-axis. So remember that. But the range of a parabola is f of x is greater than or equal to 0. So what are the important things that we want to remember? We want to remember the equation. The equation, any x squared equation, if the 2 is the biggest power, produces that U-shaped parabola. We also want to remember that the domain is all real numbers. The domain can be anything. But on the parent function, remember that the range is always going to be at the x-axis or above the x-axis. And that's what makes the quadratic parent function. This is Mr. Rachel. We hope you enjoyed tuning into this video.